Hey guys, so did you know that laser can actually grow hair? But how effective is it? Oh wow, there's a lot of new growth in this area. Where is it? So I've always been really curious about laser treatment for hair growth, but these treatment and devices can be very expensive. A laser hairband can be hundreds of dollars, and if you go to a hair clinic, these treatments can go up to thousands of dollars. So I was really excited when HairMax reached out to me and sent me this laser hair comb in exchange for a review video, which is this one that you're watching right now. However, all the opinions are my own and they didn't pay me to say anything. So I started using this hair comb around mid-June after I uploaded my previous castor oil video. I haven't used the castor oil in the past month because I didn't want to have too many variables interfering with each other. So that way if I see results, I will know that the result is coming from one source. So this laser hair comb is pretty easy to use. You just basically turn it on first and then click on the laser button and then it starts going. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. One thing you have to be careful of is don't point the laser directly to your eyes, but if you accidentally point it to your eyes, you're not going to immediately go blind or anything. So yeah, that's just something to be careful of. So after you turn it on, so turn it on first and then press the laser button, the laser starts working and then it beeps every few seconds and that signals you to start moving it along your scalp. So basically what you want to do is just comb it all over your head. I like to just concentrate in the front and the crown area. And then you want to do that for around 7 to 8 minutes every time you use it. And you just have to use it 3 times a week and that's it. So yeah, using the laser hair comb is like extremely easy. Compared to applying oils, I think it's definitely more user-friendly because as nourishing as the oils are, I don't know if anyone actually enjoy the process of putting oil on their hair. But with the laser hair comb or any laser device, it's different because you just use it for a few minutes every week and then you can just go on with your life. It doesn't really interfere with anything. So number one, I love the convenience factor with the laser hair comb. So this laser hair comb is called the Ultima 12. So this one specifically is $399 USD, which is I think their least expensive product, but still it's not cheap. But if this thing actually works, it's really dirt cheap compared to something like hair transplant. But I doubt that it will work as well as hair transplant. Or will it? So I think it's too soon to tell whether this is working or not because usually it takes 16 weeks to see the result of any hair treatment. But I think I should still talk about my 1-month experience. Even though I have stopped using the castor oil and the rosemary oil, I see that my baby hairs have continued to grow. And I have also observed more baby hairs, like these really faint, very light baby hairs below my hairline. But now I think the placement of the hairline is a genetic thing, so we probably can't lower it like that. But we'll see what happens in 3 more months. But right now I'll take a few pictures, compare it to a month ago, and then it will also serve as a reference point 3 months later so that we have something to compare at the end of the 4-month period. So some people from my previous video asked me why I didn't use the microscope to show my scalp again. So the reason is because I feel like it's really hard to show where I'm pointing with the microscope. Because with something like hair growth, even a few centimeter or millimeter really makes a huge difference. If I show you just like a close-up of my hairline, you can very easily see whether the area has filled in or not. Or if I just take a static picture of myself standing right here, you can also see whether my hair looks more voluminous or not. But with the microscope, it's really hard to know where I'm pointing, and if I'm pointing in different areas, it's really hard to compare. But this time, I thought I would just show it anyways, even if it doesn't really make a meaningful comparison. So right now, I'm pointing it to basically, I think just right below the hairline. This is the hairline, like right below the hairline. Okay, so you can see there's a lot of baby hairs even below the hairline. So I guess these are the vellus hair. So these are like the really thin baby hairs. And then I'm moving up just a little bit and then you can see how the hair has turned into like much thicker hairs basically. So there's not much distance between like this is just, I think this is just my facial hair. The thickness of this is just my facial hair. So I'm moving up a little bit, and then very soon you're seeing like more terminal hair. Yeah. Okay, so this is basically the mole. Do you see that? So this dark spot is the mole. So it seems like I have more oils. Yeah, I definitely have more oils this time. So right now I think I am pointing it to like this area, so just right below the temporal region. And so there's not much hair here. It's all like very thin wispy hairs. And then I'm moving up a little bit. These are also these thin wispy hairs. And now we're seeing more, I guess, terminal hairs. Okay, so we're like moving up a little bit, still at the edge of the hairline. Okay. And then, yeah, you can see that there are some terminal hairs in this area as well. And they're still very like... Okay, so now you see there's in one of the follicles here, you can see 2 strands of hair. So that's exciting. And then if I move up a little bit, then there's terminal hair. Make sure you're eating right now. And then we're in the terminal hair region. So basically I moved up to here. And then there's more terminal hair. Okay, so terminal hair region. If I move up even just a little bit, then it's all like terminal hair. But just for entertainment purposes, let's take a look at the other side. So here I'm pointing it to like, this is like maybe 1 or 2 centimeters, 1 finger or 2 finger away from the hairline. So this is just like facial hair. This is what facial hair looks like. And then moving upwards, and we can kind of see the hair is getting thicker. Okay. Okay, so some follicles has 1 or 2 hair, but they're still vellus hair. Hope I'm saying that correctly. Okay, so I think this is like oh wow, there's a lot of new growth in this area. Where is this? This is like close to the temple, near the center. Check this out. There's like a lot of new vellus baby hairs growing in this area. Let me move back. There's another one. Okay, I just moved back a little bit, and this is close to the hairline but not yet at the hairline. Still like kind of below the hairline, but we're seeing like thicker, yeah, like a little bit thicker hair in this region. And yeah, here you can see that this is like basically right here. This is like a new growth of a terminal hair, I think. Okay, so this is what terminal hair looks like really thick. And then there's basically a few strands coming out of every single follicle. And then if we move down, this is like what baby hairs look like. So according to HairMax, they can kind of transform some of the vellus hair into terminal hair. So that's what I'm hoping for. And then even seeing this is kind of promising, because in this case there is one follicle, but there's like several hairs, even though they're all very thin, but there's several hairs coming out of one follicle. And that's something that I haven't really seen back in January. Like if it's the baby hair area, then there's always only one single hair from each follicle. So I think this is kind of a improvement. So I do feel like my hair is kind of flat today. Yeah, I don't know. The hair looks different every day. Some days there's good hair, some days it's bad hair. I'm going to be filming again tomorrow, and I'm not going to wash my hair. And I'm just going to put a little bit of dry shampoo in it, and we'll see what that looks like. So I definitely felt like I have been able to extend the number of days in between washes. Now I wash my hair maybe every 2 to 3 days. And even on the 3rd day, I still feel like, you know, I'm kind of presentable. Like I'm presentable enough to see my mom. Okay, so you might be wondering, has it actually been proven that low-level laser works for hair growth? So I did a little bit of research on that. 60 years ago, back in the 1960s or 70s, there was a Hungarian physician named Andrei Mester, and he wanted to study the carcinogenic potential of laser. That just means he wanted to see whether laser is going to cause cancer, and he was doing his studies on lab mice. So he shaved the back of his mice and applied laser on these mice. And to his surprise, the laser didn't cause cancer, but it actually improved the hair growth for his mice. And since then, there has been a lot more studies done on low-level laser on the effect of hair growth. One group of scientists actually tested the different intensity for the laser. So in one group, they applied the laser at 1 joule per centimeter squared, and that showed a significant increase in the hair in anagen phase. And anagen phase is basically where the follicles are actively producing hair, and that's the phase that we want to be in. And in another group, they applied the laser at 5 joules per centimeter squared. So basically the laser had higher energy. And instead of seeing an increase in anagen hair, they actually saw a decrease in anagen hair and an increase in telogen hair. And telogen is the resting phase for hair, where the follicle is not producing any hair, and it's basically equivalent to the phase of shedding or hair loss. So I think this experiment is really important for us as consumers to know, and also for the manufacturers to really get the parameters for their lasers right, because otherwise it's actually going to cause hair loss rather than hair growth. And then there's another experiment where the researchers observed that low-level laser can actually turn these really fine, light vellus hair, which is like the baby hair that is very thin and wispy, and turn them into terminal hair like this one. So I think that is really cool to know, and it definitely makes me very hopeful. And to my surprise, I was also able to find a study that was done using the HairMax LaserComb. And in the study, they actually counted the number of hair in a specific region and found a statistically significant increase in the number of hair. And just to be safe, I also looked into the risks and watch out for using low-level laser. So basically, in the past 60 years of studying the effect of low-level laser, there really has not been any adverse effects associated to using low-level laser on your hair. I guess it just means like no one is dying from it, no one is developing cancer from it. At least these things have not been reported in the past 60 years. So that is reassuring to know. One thing that can be concerning is that in a small group of people, they can actually observe an onset of TE. And basically it just means an onset of hair going into telogen, which basically means you will observe a phase of shedding or hair loss. And this can be quite scary because people that use low-level laser want to grow hair, and the research is telling them there is a chance that you will actually see hair loss. But TE is not permanent, it's just temporary. And I'm sure that more people will see hair growth than hair loss, because otherwise these companies wouldn't be in business, would they? And then of course the last thing is, don't point the laser to your eyes. Just put it on your scalp. Use it as directed and be careful with it. It is a medical device, so you want to use it the way that they suggested. So number one, low-level laser is good for people who are at the early stages of hair loss. because if you're at more advanced stages of hair loss where the follicles just totally died off, then it's not really the solution. But if you're just like in the early stages and are just experiencing a little bit of hair loss or shedding, then you can definitely try out the laser hair comb. Number 2 is a warning for anyone that is taking medication that are photosensitive. You definitely want to stay away from these kind of laser treatments, or at least talk to your doctor before going into it, because there is the risk of the laser interacting with your medication. Okay, so I know this video is all about low-level laser and its ability to grow hair. And this HairMax laser comb probably has a very good chance of regrowing your hair just by looking at the before and after pictures. But I also want to speak to those who are more desperate with their hair situation, because I understand that hair loss can make us feel very embarrassed, and it can certainly take a toll on our self-esteem. But at the end of the day, it's just hair. Like, hair is one of those things where we can lose all of it and still be healthy and still be able to function and carry on with our lives. So I just want to take a moment to be grateful that it's just hair loss. It's not something like eyesight or your kidney or an arm or a leg. And then number 2 is, if you're a guy and you're losing your hair and it's at a point where it seems like it's irreversible and it's just going every day. Like, first of all, there's a lot of guys out there who are bald. And just from my personal experience, I've met people who are bald and they basically shaved all their hair off. And you know what? There is nothing embarrassing about it. Like, they are just killing it in life. One is a CTO and one is a director of marketing. Like, there is nothing unattractive about being bald. And I don't think people look at you differently just because you don't have hair. Like, it's very common for men to be bald. Definitely don't let hair loss be something that hold you back from life, because to an outsider and to everyone else, they probably don't care. And then for women, I think this problem is harder to handle because there's no bald women in the media and there's no bald women getting represented. So hair loss is certainly something that I'm really scared of. So that's why I'm trying out all these things and making videos about them, because I want to see if there's an affordable, non-invasive way for people to keep their hair. But I do hope that one day we can normalize hair loss and just kind of accept it and not be ashamed of it as a society, because right now we're seeing a lot of videos and promotions of hair transplant, which is quite an invasive procedure if you think about it. And in a lot of cases, hair transplant doesn't mean you can stop hair loss altogether, because you're not changing your physiology, you're not changing your genetics, because you're just adding some hair to the areas that you really care about. But in other areas, the hair loss can continue to happen, right? But if I take myself out of this situation and look at it at a higher level, I think it's kind of silly, because we have more and more people experiencing hair loss, and almost like none of us can accept it, and everyone is trying everything to fix it, delay it, hide it. But just imagine how cool would it be if we just normalize hairlessness. Like, it will just make it so much more convenient. You can wash your head when you're washing your face, and you never have to deal with shampoo, conditioner, dry shampoo, any styling product. It will just save hours from your day every day that you can use towards something else. So yeah, I feel like I look forward to that day. So I hope that in the not so distant future, we can kind of develop a healthier attitude toward our hair and just not be so attached to it and not get so scared of losing it. Okay, before you go, I just want to mention, if you're interested in this laser hair comb or any other products from the HairMax website, I have it linked in my description down below. I also have a discount code for you guys. It's INFTina10, which will give you a 10% discount on this product or any other product from their website. And this discount is only valid for 30 days after this offer is published. So definitely take advantage of that if you're interested in low-level laser products. And I will continue to use this for another 3 months and give you guys a 4-month update in October to see how well it worked on my hair. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!